All right, welcome to this video. My name is Stephen Howell, and it's so great to have you here. We're going to dive right in. Today, we're going to be talking about the very best marketing channels for your real estate wholesaling business. Okay, for your wholesaling real estate business, we're going to discuss what marketing channels work in today's market. And my goal with this video is to help give you, watching this video, taking time out of your busy day to watch this video, this content piece here on YouTube. I want you to get some clarity on what is your marketing channel. So this is a question from my email subscribers, my coaching students, YouTube subscribers. Over the last 3, 4, 5 years, this has become a very big topic of conversation. This has been a very prominent question. And it's like, Steven, to get the fastest results, to get the best results, and really the key to get consistent results, what's the best marketing channel, that I should use in my wholesaling real estate business? If I want to have that acquisition style of business where you have a steady pipeline full of consistent deals, like you want a machine that's built, that's pumping out deals that maybe you wholesale, that maybe you take down a couple of them and acquire them for yourself as fix and flip properties or rentals, or maybe you just keep wholesaling them. How do we fill that pipeline, and how do we fill it consistently, and what marketing channels should we choose? That is because it all starts with marketing. For this business, it really starts with marketing. And so then we have a choice. We have to sit back and say, okay, what area do I want to focus on? And I'll tell you, kind of just paint the picture in two ways here. There's kind of two approaches to this, and it's my hope and prayer and thought through this that by kind of explaining it this way, it's going to give you a deeper level of clarity. So stick with me here. I promise you, I'm going to get to the point. And by the way, for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Feel free to browse some of the other content that I have. Definitely, if this resonates with you, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Just click the subscriber button and the notification bell so you can see when I come out with new weekly videos. That's the rhythm that we're getting into here, is weekly videos. So that's what you can expect from me. And I always read the comments. So if you like these videos, I'd love to hear what your thoughts, your questions, comments, feedback, because I do read those comments and reply to those personally. I don't outsource those to my team or anything like that. But anyways, guys, there's two kind of ways to think about this. So as we think of the marketing channels, okay, when we think, okay, marketing is a key piece to this business. If I want to have that full pipeline of steady deals, there's a lot of other factors that go into it, right? And having the right conversations and all the step-by-step type of things. But in this video, we're talking about marketing channels. So maybe you don't have consistent leads coming into your business, calling your phone, sending you emails, leaving you voicemails. And you're like, man, Steven, I just don't have enough leads coming into my business. We really want to double down and focus on our marketing. And there are a couple of ways we can do that. So you'll see on the screen here, just to kind of pull the curtain back, here are the 6 or 7, marketing channels that we can choose from. And then I'm going to tell you in just a second what not to do, and then give you a couple of tips of what to do. And I think in explaining it this way, it's going to really add that level of clarity that I hope you get from this video. So the marketing channels, you can decide that in your business, you want to base your business around cold calling. You want to base your business around direct mail, SMS, which is basically text messaging, RVM, which is ringless voicemails, relationships and networking. Or you can go the old school grassroots physical type of marketing, and I'll talk about that. And then there is the digital, the online world, and that type of marketing. So we have investor A over here, we'll call him Bob. And then we have investor B over here, and we'll call her Marlene for this example. So we got Bob and we have Marlene. So Bob is the investor who's been going to a ton of real estate investor association meetings. He has been studying kind of in and out real estate for, 5-10 years. He really hasn't done any deals. He's gotten close a few times. He has a ton of knowledge. He's bought a ton of like hundreds of $500 courses. He knows all the terminology. He's a part of all the Facebook groups. He's a part of all the online forums. He goes to the weekly RIA meetings. He's been to the local seminar circuits that come to town that promise you a 3-day, free mastermind workshop, only to upsell you to the higher level programs. And so he has this grandioso vision about the type of real estate business he wants to build. And he has his notebooks full of information. He knows all the terminology. And he's not out there. He's studying this stuff, but he's also kind of putting it into practice as well. He's putting out bandit signs. He's bought a couple of lead lists. He's made a few phone calls. He's tried his hand at Google AdWords or maybe Facebook ads. He's posted some Craigslist ads. He's talked to some people, and he's put out some more bandit signs. But the leads just kind of trickle in, and he's even tried to drive for dollars and download some of the new apps and things like that. But, really, he just kind of feels like he's fumbling around. It's not enough to support his family. It's not enough to quit his job. And he's like, my goodness, this just feels like so much work, and I'm just constantly chasing that little carrot in front of my nose here. And I'm like, what's going on? So that's Bob. And if that relates to you, I totally understand, because that's how my business started, right? I was trying a little bit of everything. And so what I want to share with you when you are watching this video, you clicked on this video, the best marketing channels for wholesaling real estate. The big concept, the big golden nugget that I want you to understand is the best marketing channel that you can possibly choose is narrowing it down to one channel and then choosing to commit to mastery for the next year. Let me say that again. Choose one marketing channel, not the 10 like Bob over here did. And even though he had the best intentions and he was trying to feel his way out, to feel what he could do better at, whether it was bandit signs or Craigslist ads or cold calling. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have to kind of process through things a little bit, but it is a critical death blow to your real estate business when we spread ourselves too thin, especially if you have a full-time job and other obligations. And even if not, even if you're going at this full-time and you're going in a lot of directions, you're going to end up chasing your tail and not get results. And that's not what I want for you. So the other investor over here, investor B, and Marlene, okay? Marlene, the investor B over here, she has committed to mastery in one of these areas and has said, okay, I'm going to go deep with one marketing channel. Okay, go deep with one marketing channel for the next year, and I'm going to figure out how to be the very best in that marketing channel in my entire area. Like, I am going to be the master at that. Okay, and that is the model that I want to share with you guys, because that's the best way to get results in your wholesaling business, is to commit to mastery in one marketing channel. There's so much variables and things that go into each of these marketing channels that you can't possibly, in the beginning, know all the variables and how they work and all of those things, and test and tweak the variables and be any good when you're trying 6 different marketing channels at the same time. Now, the reason I listed these out are these are the main ways that you can focus on your marketing. So you can decide to build your business, or Marlene in this example could decide to build her business around cold calling. Okay, so cold calling and direct mail, those are among the ways where you can reach the most people, okay? The next 2 on the list, SMS and RVM, you're only going to be able to reach the people who have mobile phones. And depending on how the laws are changing, and in certain states, Text messaging and RVM are starting to get stricter and stricter rules around those different things. So you always want to consult legal counsel in doing so. When you're sending text messages and RVMs and finding out if that is okay to do in your state. But when you work those lists, you're only going to be able to work about a third of the list because a third of the list is going to be mobile phones and the rest are going to be landlines. So if you go out there and you get the right data and you go out and let's say you get 2,000 addresses or 5,000 addresses, you can decide, hey, do I want to cold call them or do I want to direct mail them? And you can reach the full amount of that list, whether it's 2,000 or 5,000 people. If we decide, okay, SMS or RVM, it's going to be a lot cheaper, but we're only going to be able to reach typically what I've found is about a third of the list because we're only able to reach those with a mobile phone if we're really focused on text messaging and RVM. Okay. I really do like text messaging. The platform that I use is called leadsherpa.com. So just a fun little golden nugget there. That is the company that I use and I really enjoy and have seen really good results with through SMS marketing is Lead Sherpa. So that's something that you guys can check out. As a resource that I would share with you. They have a top-notch platform. I am not an affiliate of them in any way, shape, or form. It's just something that I use in my business and I want to share with you to add value. So cold calling or direct mail. So let's say Marlena here decided to build her business around cold calling. So instead of worrying about all these other things, she can focus on getting the right data and getting the right lists and testing different lists. She can focus on looking into the right dialer systems. She can look at, her phone script and how that conversation is going. She can focus on eventually being able to hire an acquisitions manager and someone to do the initial phone calls for her after she's gained a ton of experience. And she can really focus on all those different variables instead of barely being able to dip her toes in the water here because she's also trying to do direct mail and post Craigslist ads and do bandit signs and run Facebook ads and Google ads. It's just too much, right? So the key to marketing is you have to start with one channel and commit to mastery. Like if you are not doing at least 2 to 3 deals a month, consistently month in and month out, producing a great amount of revenue for your business, then you have no business in dabbling in a bunch of other lead sources and marketing channels because we haven't yet mastered the one marketing channel. So that is, it reminds me of an old, I think it's like a Japanese proverb, but it's something that I've always used in my business and I absolutely love it. And it says, he that chases 2 rabbits catches none. He that chases 2 rabbits catches none. Okay? All right, so let's kind of take a little bit closer look at these marketing channels, as you think about them. So the other thing I want to say with these marketing channels that I have on the screen here, and I'm going to elaborate on them just a bit to kind of open that, open your mind a little bit on what I'm talking about. Because you may look at this list and think, okay, well, there's probably some other secret around the corner. There has to be a better way. There has to be a cooler way with all the technology in the marketplace today to get leads than this. But what I want to kind of share with you is that each of these things on the screen have built multi-million-dollar businesses with investors around the country. I know people that are focused on each of these items, and it's like the only thing they do, or it's the main pillar of what they do, and they've built a 7-figure business. And actually, I know multiple people in each of these categories who've built 7-figure businesses. So if they can do it, my friend, you can do it. It's not that it's not possible. And that's one of the first things to believe. So it's not that like one of these things doesn't work anymore and the other thing works. Right now, I want you to know that there are people likely in your market even, or in your state, that have a 7-figure real estate business that are doing each of these strategies you see on the screen. So it's not that one doesn't work and the other does work. It's a matter of what you're going to commit your heart and your mind and your soul and your resources. Not your soul. You should commit your soul to the Lord. But put your heart and mind into, right? So every single one of these can work. It just depends on, what you can really follow through with, and truthfully with the time you have available in your day-to-day. You may be working a job 50 hours a week, the marketing budget you have. This is an area, my friend, where you really want to spend a lot of time thinking and praying and writing down and really getting clear on the marketing channel you want to choose, okay? And earlier in this video, when I said you want to commit to one of these marketing channels for an entire year, you may think, like, that's really hard in the culture we live in the Netflix culture, in the Instagram culture. Our attention span as human beings is so shrunken, and critical thinking is so far removed that committing to something for a year is almost unconceivable, truthfully, if we're really honest. And that's what it takes, to gain even a sliver of a level of mastery. And so, you're going to get so much further faster if you choose one area to focus on. And it may not even seem like that's possible. It may not even seem like that's wise. But really, you will get so much further. And that's why it's so critical that you really spend some time right now, the next couple of days, really thinking through these marketing channels and looking into them and making a firm decision on where you're going to focus, okay? Because it's a big decision, but I know that you can do it. So you could build your business around cold calling. You could build your business around direct mail. You can build your business around text messaging or RVM, which are voicemail drops, as long as it is something that, if you speak to legal counsel that, they approve in your state. The rules around text messaging and RVM are changing a little bit. So this is not legal advice. This is not legal counsel, and definitely you should look into that. Then there is just old school networking and relationships. And I want to give you a few ideas on how you can do that, because that is often one of the most overlooked and underutilized marketing channels, but it's a very, very powerful one, okay? And then there's the old school grassroots marketing. So what would this look like? This would be placing bandit signs, okay? And if you're interested in, some training about bandit signs, I've talked to some of the top investors in the country, and they're like, oh my gosh, people in my Facebook groups and, in my masterminds, they're poo-pooing bandit signs, but they're still one of my favorite ways to generate leads. And so they work, right? They absolutely work. If you want some further training on bandit signs, I have a 4-part series to help you learn how to do them more cost effectively, and to generate better leads from them and more leads from them, and to how to have them stay up longer. You can check out one of my playlists here on the YouTube channel to see my 4-part training series on bandit signs. But that's just one marketing channel. That may not resonate with you, right? But that is kind of what I call an old school grassroots marketing. Another one would be radio, right? Like radio ads would be kind of an older school marketing channel. An ad on a scoreboard or a bench ad, okay? Like a bench ad in your downtown city, and having bench ads placed around your city. Newspaper ads, more of an old school marketing. Yellow pages ad, an ad in the yellow pages, or like the penny saver, or those the weekly little ads that come out that get sent out to your house. Those are kind of more of the old school, physical ways to go about it. So then we have digital. And actually, wait, before we go to digital, back at the old school grassroots, I would even put driving for dollars, that strategy, in the old school grassroots physical category, okay? The digital category would be Facebook ads and Google ads, Google PPC and Facebook ads. Okay. So as far as a cost standpoint, your cheapest forms of a marketing channels are always going to be relationships and networking. Okay. That's going to be your absolute cheapest and free route, and some of your biggest and best deals will come from relationships. So if you're pressed on a budget right now, that may be an area for you to start and to start thinking about how can I build a business based off of relationships and networking. So just to kind of give you an idea here, right? Just to kind of share with you a powerful secret. Like, what are some relationships that you can cultivate that can produce great leads for your business? Well, first of all, talking to anyone and everyone about what you're doing is really, really powerful, and having that servant mindset and go-giver attitude. But what if you were able to call up pest control companies and estate sale companies, and even nursing homes or companies that deal with veterans like VA companies? These places are dealing with individuals a lot of times who are going through very difficult situations, who a lot of times have problem properties that they want to sell. What about junk removal companies? What about carpet cleaning companies? Like I said, pest control companies, water remediation companies. So if you're able to build relationships with all sorts of these type of companies in your city, in your market, and tell them a little bit about what you're doing and compliment them on their business, find out what they do. Number one, you're going to start to broaden your network, and you're going to be able to refer these businesses to sellers that you talk with that are going through situations, and therefore you're going to be able to add a lot of value. Because you can say, actually, John, I have a great junk removal company. Let me give you the contact of Tom. He owns the company. He's fantastic. I know you're worried about all this stuff stacked up in the house that you've inherited. Your grandmother was a hoarder, and there's like stuff stacked up to the ceiling. We've come across this many times. We will be able to help you with this situation. How much value can you add there? So never underestimate the power of relationships. What about developing relationships with probate attorneys? That's one of my favorites. I call them the golden goose, because some of these probate attorneys, they deal with 5 estates for the year, and some of them deal with 50 estates throughout the year. In my area, there's 268 probate attorneys. Now, what if I hit it off with 5 or 10 of them and they referred me a deal a quarter or a deal a year? I mean, if my average deal is $15,000 a deal, how many deals does it take for that to be an amazing lead source that didn't cost me anything except a few conversations? Very powerful, very powerful. So we could spend 2 or 3 hours talking about each of these marketing channels. And if that's something you guys want, let me know about in the comments, which of these marketing channels you're most intrigued about, which ones you have most questions about. Again, these are the main marketing channels. And then the big tip I wanted to give you is, when you choose one of these channels, a way to even niche down further is to say, okay, if I choose, for example, cold calling, instead of just cold calling anyone and everyone, one of the things, like I said, when you start to go down that funnel, is you say, okay, now that I'm cold calling, I need to make sure I'm getting the right data and the right lists and accurate phone numbers. So I really need to be on my P's and Q's about skip tracing and getting the right data and the right dialer systems and the time of day, and really, making sure I'm dialing 3 hours a day and all of these things, and testing the variables and the phone scripts, and going really, really, really deep on that one thing and committing to mastery. What's even more powerful on top of all that is if you say, okay, I'm going to commit to one lead source within that marketing channel. I am really going to figure out how to let's say, master probate within the cold calling realm. I'm going to be the best at probate leads, or I'm going to be the best at tax delinquents. I'm going to figure out how to market to tax delinquents in my market better than anyone else is doing, and I'm going to become the master. Or I'm going to figure out how to get water turnoff leads or code violations or evictions, and I'm going to maybe handwrite letters, and maybe I'm going to door knock. That's another old school physical grassroots route as well, door knocking, that I forgot to mention. So the tip there is, you can, once you choose the marketing channel, you can choose the lead type, like tax delinquents or probates or code violations or whatever it may be, as a lead source to focus on. And then you can niche down even further. Instead of focusing on your entire market, you can say, okay, my metropolitan market is here, right, that I'm focusing on. And there's these 3 counties that I'm marketing in. I'm going to find out the top 10 zip codes where my cash buyers are buying, and I'm only going to market to probates or tax delinquents in those 10 zip codes, and I'm going to be the best. So that, my friend, is a way that you can niche down further and further and further, so that you are like a laser. You are like, and this is graphic, but you are like the sniper shot. Instead of just spraying a million things on the wall, you have that laser targeted approach. And my friend, if you do, like, it's like the old saying of Bruce Lee, I think it was, like, less is more. Less is more. There's a beautiful book out there. It's called Essentialism. Okay, Essentialism. The Disciplined Pursuit of Less, I think, is its subtitle. Another, golden tip for you. Read that book. This is how you go further faster, is you do less, but you do it with more precision and more strategy and more thought behind it, okay? So every single one of these marketing channels on the screen is good enough to build a 7-figure real estate business, okay? You have to look at yourself, your personality, your schedule, your availability, your marketing budget, and what you can truly see yourself doing for 12 months at least without fail. And then you have to make a decision. And that's the hard part. That's the crux of this, guys. And this is another powerful piece of advice that I've learned as an entrepreneur. We don't like to make decisions, because when we do, it puts our butts on the line, and then there's no one else to blame. But one of the ways you can progress as an entrepreneur and as a person is thoughtfully making decisions. And then if it doesn't work out, we learn from it. But it's so much better when you make a decision and you learn from it, even if it fails, than just to flutter around and do things half-heartedly and complain about it, right? And not truly give it our all and kind of dabble and tinker around. That hurts people. That hurts ourselves. And so I really want that to be the underlying message as well of this video, for you to kind of think about that, because it's really, really, really powerful. So really think about this decision. And then I want you to practice making decisions, like really make the decision and commit to it. That in and of itself is a huge thing. So anyways, guys, let me end with this. So it's much different reinvesting from profit than going into debt. So this is another kind of topic, but it relates, and that's why I wanted to end with this. So focus on one lead source and marketing channel and commit to mastery. And then think about this so that you can get that hope and excitement going. And this is true. How much easier is it going to be to scale and to start to add some other things in and to start to reinvest when you make that first 15 or 25K wholesale deal? What if you really focused and you landed 2 or 3 deals in the next 90 days? That is not impossible for you, my friend. In fact, if you make decisions with strategy and you focus and you work really hard, it's very, very possible. It's not going to be possible if you're dabbling and trying a million things, but if you focus on one thing and you take ownership of it and you figure out how to be different and better than everyone else on that one thing, it's very likely that you could do a couple deals in the next 90 days. And what would that do for your marketing budget if you did 2 or 3 $15,000 deals? What would that do for scaling your business? So, my friend, it is a matter of focus and it's a matter of sacrifice, and it will pay off. So, my friend, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I don't take it lightly that you're watching this video. If you have, hit the like button. If you would like a roadmap, a game plan, and to go a lot deeper personally on this topic and really building your wholesaling business into a deal creating or a deal generating machine rather, where you have a steady pipeline full of wholesale deals or deals in general to cherry pick from. Maybe you're a landlord or a rehabber and you want to take down some of them yourself. Reach out to me. I have a one-on-one mentoring program. I have a little tiny bit of availability right now, and you can book a call with me and fill out a short application. I actually read the answers, and I do take those answers very seriously. So make sure you really put some thought into those answers on the application. And we can set up a one-on-one free strategy call with me personally, not my team, but me personally. And for 45 minutes, we can really look at your business or your soon-to-be business, about what you want to accomplish and where you're stuck, and really map out a game plan. And I can see if you're a good fit for the mentoring program. And if you are, I can invite you to be part of it. But I have a little bit of availability right now. So if you want to cut through the fluff and you want a specific roadmap and you want this, what we're talking about here, to the millionth degree on steroids, and you want a good game plan, that may be of a huge value to you, and would love to chat with you about that. But nonetheless, guys, like I said, on those marketing channels, we can go in more detail on any of those channels and other topics around real estate, investing, wholesaling, entrepreneurship, anything that you guys want to talk about. Let me know in the comments, because that gives me great feedback and ideas for future content that you guys want and that I can produce for you. So again, guys, Stephen Howell here. This video was about the best marketing channels for wholesaling real estate. The best marketing channel is one of those that I listed on the previous screen, and the one that you're going to commit to mastery for the next 12 months. And then getting inside that marketing channel, learning how to differentiate yourself, and then maybe even niching down further into just a couple of lead sources and a few zip codes, and becoming just an absolute monster, a good monster that's going to help and serve people in your marketplace. My friend, I know that you can do this. I believe in you. You can do this. Appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.